So this is the Liberty Cry to call and cry on the injustice of the Trump regime that has been going on. We got some news earlier in the morning that a F-15 was shot down over Iran, and from the looks of it, there are two American fighter pilots out there in the wilderness over there. But from the news, we might have heard that one was picked up, the other one hasn't been found yet. Or one has been found, the other just not yet. Or the fire jet was found. So we will, like I said, we don't know. It's later, but he's found or not, we'll look into that. So in other news, we also heard a few days ago from Trump himself gave his address to the nation. Unfortunately, it was nonsense. It was just absolute garbage of it. So, with all that being said, what does that mean for this country? What does that mean because of that? Well, he did not give it clarity. He does not know what to do. And from the looks of it, he was bored, he was low energy, and he might consider pulling out of Iran because of this war of choice. So, can we trust a word out of his mouth? No. Unfortunately, we cannot, even because of that. As of another note, yesterday, Pam Bondi was finally let go of her role as the Attorney General for the United States after 14 months. She has botched, unfortunately, now from Trump's social media post saying that she will be let go slowly and I will help her on her feet, paraphrasing. But we all know she has done a terrible job as to be an AG because she was not able to do her job effectively well as Attorney General because of the Epstein files. She has slow-rolled the entire process and not helped the survivors who wants accountability and transparency. She has slowed it down for so long. One Democrat and a Republican, Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie, had to get involved, had to do a bipartisan bill with bipartisan support of the House and Senate for him to sign into law that he had to sign. He couldn't do it. So as of that, why is that news important? Because now, unfortunately, we have another problem. It's a good news, but the big problem is now he has to find somebody else. And unfortunately, the short list, and you can probably look it up and see it all on the news, who are the new short list for Attorney General. And that it is very slim and very bad. They are just bad as her. So none of this is voting confidence for the Attorney General's seat. So with other things, and that is one of those news like, finally she's gone, we might get some transparency. Unfortunately, that's not happening because the House is no longer in session and DHS is still partially shut down because the House passed a bipartisan resolution bill that was a joint unanimous, all 100 senators in the House did a joint resolution to pass a bipartisan bill in the Senate, but the House, no. Mike Johnson said no, recess for 2 weeks. He is a feckless, he is the worst. There is no words to describe this. And yet, they are going out for recess when there's still a partial government shutdown. That is insane. That's wrong in of itself. So with all of this is insane, and it should not be tolerated. So with the AG now gone and the replacement, the deputy one, Todd Blanche, he's not going to do anything. He's a loyalist, and unfortunately, the short list I mentioned a little earlier, they are all loyalists, every last one of them. So I don't think we got anything better. I think we just got the same thing, got it worse. So what do we do now? Well, we got to hold their feet to the fire, keep calling our congressmen, call the senators, do anything we can to tell them, no, we don't support this. We do not support the war in Iran, and get those American pilot or pilots out of Iran now. And it doesn't matter. But as you can see, it's a little hot over here, so I'm kind of sweating a bit because I've been going out doing some errands for my family, my mom and stepdad at the moment. But in other cases, this is just absolute. He has bungled it badly. The people aren't going to help us. We have a lot of our allies are not allowing our the air forces, to use their bases because of this. Now they're showing this, like, no, we will not support you. And as of the last No Kings, we all saw. During this past No Kings last week, we saw that there were other protests in Europe. One in England, London, Spain, and France, and Italy, Rome. That's remarkable in of itself. So we do have support overseas. That is a good thing. But we also have to keep this going. It's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. And with everything going on, it almost sounds insurmountable, but everything is possible. But in other cases, earlier we saw one of his faith leaders tried to pray for him and comparing him to Christ. That is absolutely despicable, and it is truly. Oh man, just try to keep a straight face and trying to put in the words is appalling. It is absolutely blasphemy. That is a blasphemy. Comparing Trump and all of it. No, that is blasphemy. And we have to call this out for what it is. He is not. Christ was he wanted love thy neighbors as yourself, welcome the stranger, help the poor, heal the sick, and also minister to the prisoners, while being humble and forgiving, which is the hardest thing for us to do. Sometimes when you cross us, we can't forgive you for certain things. So that being said, this is absolutely blasphemy, and with everything going on, this is the rise of Christian nationalism. And for those Christian nationalists, comparing him to Christ, no. That's a bridge too far for my case. That is a absolute just highway robbery of the despicableness of this all. So, with that being said, and we need to reclaim the words of Jesus, the words in red, and try our absolute best to live up to the words Jesus taught us. All of it. And we have to. We got to stand up. He stood up in a very dangerous time when an empire ruled, and if you were against them, the very same people who were trying to appease them were against you. And he paid the price. So we have to stand up, be forgiving, and call this out. When power corrupts, call it out. When it hurts people, call it out. When there's injustice, you call it out and do it legally and peaceful protest, which he did. He peacefully protested. The only act of violence in there was when he turned over the money table, funny thing, during this very week leading up to the crucifixion. So with that being said, we also got to remember to be careful, be respectful, and always be united. We can't be divided under the authoritarian regime and the rise of Christian nationalism and the hate. So call it out, stand up, and thank you. Like, subscribe, or share this video with a friend, whatever you do. Leave a comment. I do appreciate that. This is the Liberty Cry to call out the injustice the Trump administration has brought upon us. Thank you, and you all have a good rest of your week, and have a happy Easter.